By now, we have probably all seen this viral clip of this man where he melts down, this Theo bro, this person who talks about traditional values or whatnot, because his opponent, this woman named Charlie, basically said, "You're not really living the life that you claim, that you push." This podcaster melted down so much that he just resorted to these weird insults and name calling and trying to overtalk her. But before we really talk about this situation, I want to talk about this woman, Leah Van King, in this video. I was just introduced to her today, and everything that she says in this video makes sense. And it makes sense to juxtapose it to the meltdown of Andrew Wilson, the Theo bro, the trad bro. It makes perfect sense. This part right here, they're raised to conquer. This is the reason why they don't like tall women, plus size women. This is the reason why petite girls get put on a higher pedestal. That's because they don't want equals. They want someone that they can conquer. This is also the reason why they cannot stand feminists. Feminists are more about equality. Why are you trying to conquer your equal? Why are you trying to conquer your partner? And you know how all of these men, oh my gosh, if you ever open up social media and they're talking about the things that they want or expect or need in a woman, they want quietness, they want peace, they want her to shut up and go make a sandwich or something. And you like those evangelical women, those fundamentalist Christian, they have that really sweet, high-pitched voice because they are taught early on to really stay childlike and innocent. And that's the reason why they don't like women that take up space, that grab attention with their achievements. They don't like women like that. They don't like women that have confidence, that are assertive, that speak their opinions, because all of those women are masculine. It's masculine to do all of those things. Right before this line, she says that boys are brought up on a diet of win, dominate, and take. So when they're looking for a woman, they're looking for someone that they can manage, that they can dominate. And so that's the reason why they cannot stand feminists. They can't stand in women that are financially independent. Like when they start talking about women, single women are outpacing single men in buying homes. They cannot stand that. They cannot stand women that have the discretionary income to travel or to have a dog or to have a cat, or that, has a fresh beat, like always has her makeup impeccable, always has her hair impeccable, because those are the types of women that are expensive. And if they're expensive, that means that they have discretionary income. Those are not the type of women that you can manage, because the type of women that you can manage are the ones that are dependent on you or that you can control. And these women, they are independent minded and you cannot control them. That's the reason why they are always denigrating these women, even if they have not a single chance, not a slight chance of even meeting these women in real life. They want to make sure that the women in society as a whole doesn't get too big for their britches. And I mean that literally and figuratively, because those women are the ones that you can't control. This is also the reason why we have been having this conversation about how they weaponize food, how tall women, plus size women are seen as masculine, because these are not the women that you can dominate. Oh my God, all of these things go so well together. And they go perfectly well. How he was over talking her, how she challenged him. He did not like to be challenged, how she was assertive and opinionated, and she came with facts and he melted down with emotion, because that is what they're trained to do, to dominate and control a situation. And he couldn't do that with her. And that's the reason why we saw him melt down into like absolutely no logic. He couldn't come back with facts. All he could do is spew vitriol. In this conversation here, Leah Van King talks about boundaries. We talk about boundaries every week, several times a week. Boundaries are important, but you can see also how they melt down when you do have boundaries. I believe that these conversations are so important. They're so important for us to continue to have. And as we continue to raise our daughters to have a voice, to know themselves, this is one of the main reasons why I will continue to say, don't give your 20s to a man. Take that time, pour it into your education, your career, making sure that you're financially independent and all of that, because you will be harder to conquer. And I'm not saying that you'll never be conquered. You'll never find yourself in one of these situations. But if we start raising our daughters knowing what the end game is, we can at least hope to give them some of the tools to combat this, to combat their colonizing attitude where they are coming in to tap into your time, energy, and resources. All right, y'all. If you are on TikTok, please watch this woman's video. Please go over there to her page and give her the view. And if you're on my YouTube page, her video is about to follow right now. And then I'll share a clip of the meltdown of Andrew Wilson. This is for the YouTube people. I'll share a clip of that at the end. You can click out of that if you so choose.
I want to talk about pedophilia. If the Epstein files shocked you, wait until you hear how much pedophilia our culture quietly normalizes every single day. We talk about Epstein like he was an isolated monster, but he wasn't. He was the loudest symptom of something that's been woven into our culture for generations. Pedophilia is a pattern hiding in plain sight. It's in the way we talk about women, sell beauty, and shape desire. We live in a system that grooms us to see childlike as the ideal. We don't say it, we soften it. We call it youthful, fresh, innocent, when what we're really praising is childlike. Flat stomach, no wrinkles, no body hair. Small frame, wide eyes, high voice. Tiny nose, no history, no power. The ideal woman in our culture is basically a child with a credit card. And women couldn't even get a credit card without a man's signature until the 1970s. This wasn't an accident. Men are not biologically wired to prefer children. They're socially trained to prefer women with as little autonomy, agency, and lived experience as possible. Why? Because they're not raised to partner. They're raised to conquer. Boys grow up on a diet of win, dominate, take. And when that matures, it becomes choose a woman you can manage. Not someone who challenges you, mirrors you, or matches you, but someone smaller, easier, less intimidating. Who does that resemble? A child. A child won't challenge him. A child won't outshine him, won't hold boundaries, won't require emotional maturity or growth. Men aren't taught to work with equals. They're taught to avoid them. This is colonizer psychology in new packaging. Colonizers didn't arrive on land thinking, let's build a respectful relationship. They arrived thinking, this is mine, I deserve this, I'll take this. No consent, no collaboration, no equality. It's the same mindset behind the beauty standard. It was never about beauty. It was always about control. Women with depth, boundaries, anger, or self-respect are too much. Too adult, too equal. And that terrifies men who are taught that their worth comes from domination. Starve yourself, shave yourself, freeze your aging. Erase your lines, quiet your voice, minimize your existence. Why? So men don't have to evolve. So men don't have to communicate. So they don't have to collaborate. So they don't have to face a woman who sees them clearly. The beauty standard props up the fragile ego, not the woman. Here's the truth. The more adult a woman becomes, the more powerful she becomes. A grown woman's face tells a story. Her body holds wisdom. Her voice has depth. Her boundaries are firm. Her identity is self-created, not male-approved. And patriarchy hates that. Because a woman who stands tall isn't a child to conquer, but an equal to reckon with.
I will never be able to convince you of my worldview.
You won't.
I know. But the reason is not because I'm not a great orator, or I don't make good points, or I haven't said things which should be compelling to a person. But Charlie, I just think honestly you're too fucking stupid to understand them.
So Andrew, can I sell you on my worldview?
Yes.
Your wife has 3 baby daddies and has been married twice before.
And you
you
lick sniz.
Under your religion.
You lick sniz.
What is that?
You're a fucking dyke. Don't talk shit about my wife, you stupid. Shut your fucking mouth. Shut your stupid mouth.
Your wife with the 3 baby
What did
daddies?
I just say?
Wife with the 3
Sorry,
baby
I'm sorry.
daddies?
She morally inconsequential in comparison to your ditch licking.
Do the men that you try to...
Do the women that you try
show
to...
your hatred against...
Do the women that you try to... Did I say anything about your family being stupid, Charlie?
You could.
It's
You could
because
go
I'm
for
better
it.
than you, Charlie.
No, it's because you're embarrassed, and you know that the traditional values that you try to sell people on are bullshit because
Let's
you
go
are not
through
a
it.
traditional man.
Tell me again how women are too emotional to lead when that dude lost his whole entire fucking mind, went ballistic when his hypocrisy was called out to him. That's forgettable podcast bro Andrew Wilson. He said things like, not all rape is bad. Yeah, he just got his ass handed to him when he tried to convince her of his traditional Christian nationalist worldview. She wasn't buying it. He's like, well, that's because you're too stupid to get it. She had to make one fucking statement of fact to call out his whole hypocrisy, and that is the fact that this man is married to a woman who's been married a couple times, has kids with a couple other men, and therefore his household isn't part of the traditional family. No, it is a progressively blended household. And he lost his shit. You know why? Because he is embarrassed. He's embarrassed by the fact that his entire audience, that he has grown his platform, is convincing young men and men in general to judge women harshly based on their body counts and their baggage. And he knows damn well that he and his wife will be judged because he's taught these men to judge for it. Like, he has no one to blame but himself. Now, his wife has done nothing to be embarrassed about other than maybe marrying him or to be judged for. But he himself is so fucking embarrassed by the fact that he knows that he has sold people on this traditional life that he is not living, and he cannot handle her calling out his grift. Because that's all it is, a fucking grift. All these podcast bros are the same. Out here talking about traditional values while living progressive lives, holding women to standards that they could never fucking meet. And the minute you call them out, they fucking lose it. It takes nothing to shatter the illusion of this guy's emotional control. He got upset when a woman was able to open a jar of pickles he couldn't. Yeah, Fragile doesn't even begin to cover it. What a fucking loser.